Hello everyone, thank you for joining me in today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about some things that I wish that I knew as a beginner nail tech, things that would have definitely helped me just starting out, which was actually 10 years ago now. I have been licensed, which is crazy. These things are things that I think would have helped me along in the process, would have helped my business, would have helped things go a little bit smoother if I would have known this before, and hopefully they will help you too if you are also a beginner. So the first thing that I have on my list is to invest in high quality products from the start. So a lot of times when you're just starting out, you don't have much of a budget for high quality expensive things to begin with, which I completely understand. I was totally there. And the one thing that I wish that I did was actually purchase some higher quality products to start with, because what ends up happening is you purchase something that's a little bit more affordable. It may not be quite as good, it may not be as high quality. So then eventually down the line, you actually usually upgrade to the nicer quality item in the end. So you actually end up spending more money by doing this versus if you were able to budget, save your money, maybe buy less things to begin with and focus on purchasing the higher quality items from the start. You would actually save yourself some money in the long run because you wouldn't have to repurchase things later. For example, my e-file, I have a really nice one now, but in the beginning I started with a cheaper one. It was definitely more affordable, and actually I feel like at the time it was still like a big purchase for me. I think it was like $89 or something. It did the job for a little bit, but it actually, it wasn't as strong. It definitely had more vibration. It wasn't a high quality e-file. So eventually I had to buy a nice high quality e-file later. So I actually spent more money. So if I would have just saved my money to purchase a nicer one in the beginning, then I wouldn't have had to repurchase again later on. Try to not always go for the cheapest things. It's better to buy less items. And also when I say that, I mean like not getting caught up in some of the trends that come and go really quickly, or when you go to nail shows and you see all these really sparkly things and it's just like so fun and you want to buy all of that. Try to rein that back a little bit and not purchase things just because in the moment they're beautiful and sparkly, and actually kind of budget and think about the things that you are going to need in the long run and things that are going to be more high quality. And for my e-file now, I use the Erica's ATA e-file. They actually aren't selling this one anymore because they're focusing on the implements and the bits and other aspects of their business. So they're actually selling the Medicool e-file now, which honestly, I love Erica's ATA. I talk about them a lot in my videos. And so if it's something that they're selling and they feel confident in as a product, then I would trust them and go with that. The second thing that I think would have helped me a lot, so much, and I feel like a lot of beginner nail techs do this, is making sure you do not start your prices too low. Because what happens if you start them too low, it can be very hard to work back up to the normal price range or the normal prices in your area. And what you end up doing is you're kind of stuck down in this lower price range and you're not actually making as much income as you potentially could if you were charging the correct amount for your services. Let's just say, for an example, in your area, the normal or price range for a fill is $50. Just throwing that out there. It might be different for wherever you are, but let's just say it's $50. And then let's say because you're a beginner, you don't feel that your services are up to par with others, you're still learning, which I completely understand. We've all been there. And so you don't feel as confident charging that $50 for a fill. That just seems like too much. And so what you end up doing is you say, I'm gonna charge just $25 for a fill, 25. And then let's say every year you wanna give yourself a raise, so you decide to raise your prices every year $5. So it's gonna take you 5 whole years before you're actually at that $50 normal price, and by that time that normal price is probably going to be higher. It's probably not going to be $50 anymore. So it can be hard to raise your prices in bigger increments, like 10, 15, $20 from, you know, if you're starting too low, and then you might get yourself stuck in a kind of lower price range and just have a hard time getting back up to the normal prices. So if you're struggling with this, I would definitely suggest, I totally understand not, you know, feeling confident and you don't want to charge the regular prices because you just know that your work's not up to that level yet. I would suggest letting your clients know, I'm going to charge you this much, but this is just a promotional rate to help me learn and practice, and in 3 months it's going to jump up to this rate, which is $5 or $10 more, and then 3 months after that it will jump up again to $5 or $10 more, just to help me get in the practice and then work up to the regular prices. And then that way your clients know in advance that this price is just a special price. It is not your regular prices, and they will eventually be worked up to the standard pricing. In my experience, I definitely started too low and had a harder time working myself back up. This third point is something that I have experienced a few times in my career, and I think that a lot of people don't think this is an option. But so number 3 is, it's okay to let clients go. It is, I promise you. So we deal with the public, so we have so many different personalities, so many different types of people coming in and sitting at our desk, and so sometimes there are certain clients that we just do not mesh with. And I'm not talking about just they just have like a slightly different personality. I'm talking about when a client is disrespectful, when they're constantly late, when they constantly don't show up or no show, if they are trying to always bargain or haggle your prices, that kind of stuff. It's okay to let them go. You do not have to put up with somebody being disrespectful to you. You do not have to continue servicing them. It's okay to let them go. I always do it very nicely, professionally. I just say that, you know, it's not a good fit, this relationship that we have, and I think it would be better if this person saw somebody else for their future services, and I leave it at that. Don't fib or don't try and like, you know, get out of it in that type of a way. It's better to just be honest and cut the client loose so that there is no other little ways that they could kind of sneak back into your schedule. It's just so much better just to say, we're not a good fit. I really appreciate you coming in and I really appreciate your business. However, I think it would be best if you would see someone else. The fourth thing is that unfortunately, most of the beauty schools or nail schools, especially here in the US, I'm not talking about other countries because I am not aware of their education system for nail techs or, you know, cosmetologists. But unfortunately in the US, beauty school or nail school is only going to teach you the basics. It's still important if you want to have a legitimate legal nail technician business, beauty business, that you need to go to school to get your license. But just be prepared that they're only going to teach you the basics. You do need to learn the basics like safety and sanitation, just the basics of manicuring and stuff like that, but just be prepared that that's really all you're going to learn so that you can get that license so that you can work with the public. So I wish that I knew that I would need to kind of start saving my money and budgeting for continuing education after nail school. So I have taken so many classes since beauty school, and I would say 90% of the stuff that I do and know, I did not learn in beauty school. I did not learn how to use an e-file in school. I have taken quite a number, probably 3 to 5 that I can just think of off the top of my head, e-file classes since beauty school, so that I can learn about my e-file and learn how to use it properly and efficiently so that I can do better services. I actually have a class that I'm going to next week, and that's an e-file class. That's a dry manicuring e-file class, and I'm so excited. So even today, 10 years later, I'm still going to extra classes, continuing education classes, because I love it. I never want to stop learning. I always want to learn new things. If there was something I could tell myself about this 10 years ago, I would definitely say budget for classes, and when you have the opportunity to take a class, take it. I would tell myself, you know, budget for it, take as many classes as you can, and just be prepared that when you get out of school, you're not gonna know that much and you're gonna need this extra education. Lastly, my fifth thing that I would say would be my biggest advice for someone who is newer is it's going to take time to build up your skills. You're not gonna come out of beauty school, nail school, absolutely amazing and have this profitable and amazing business. It's going to take time, and you've also got to be patient and kind to yourself, because I see so many nail techs, newer nail techs, struggling with that their services take too long and it's not good and stuff like that. And I was super slow. I'm pretty sure my first ever full set in beauty school, I think it was like an acrylic French full set, except I'm pretty sure the tip was white, so all I had to do was put on clear acrylic over the top, and I'm pretty sure it took me 4 to 5 hours. I feel bad for the person who got them done now, but just so you know, just be kind to yourself. That is gonna take you time. You're not gonna get out of school and be able to do a full set in an hour or an hour and a half. So don't get discouraged if you're slow, if you're still taking the time to build up those skills. It's just, you're gonna have to just practice, 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 and practice on as many people as you possibly can to kind of get that speed going and get those skills going. I also see a lot of people very, very concerned about being slow. I understand you don't want your clients to have to sit there for hours and hours. You know, that's not fun. Nobody wants to do that. So I totally understand where this is coming from, but instead of focusing on being fast when you're new, you need to focus on the actual skills and being good, because the more you practice and the more you do it, it'll just naturally come faster to you. You will naturally be able to do these services quicker. But if you're just focusing on speed and you're not actually focusing on quality, then the services are still not going to be that good. It doesn't matter if you're faster at that point. Like, you're not providing a good service for your clients. Doesn't really matter if you can do it faster. Focus on quality, focus on practicing, and just know that the speed will come the more that you practice. Also, don't compare yourself to other people. I know that can be so hard, especially with social media now. It can be hard to look at other people's work and just, you feel like you suck, basically. Like, I've totally been there. I have to say, when I graduated school, there wasn't YouTube. I mean, YouTube existed, but there was not like people doing nails on YouTube. There wasn't Instagram, there's no TikTok, you know, none of that. So in some ways it can be amazing, because if I would have had all these resources when I was first in school, I definitely could have sped up the process of bettering my skills. But at the same time, you also have a hard time, you know, seeing other people's work, and it's just amazing and flawless, and you just never think that you're gonna get there. But I promise, if you just keep practicing, you will get there. So just know that social media can be a great resource, but just don't try not to compare yourself, and try to not let it make you feel bad or make you feel like you're never going to be at this level, because it just takes time. So hopefully these things helped you if you're a beginner nail tech. If you have any other questions, put them down in the comments, because I love to help you guys out, answer your questions if I can, and it just makes me happy to know that I might be helping someone else out in their career as well. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If this video helped you, make sure to subscribe. and give this video a like. As always, you can follow me on my social media to see lots more tips and tricks that I post on there as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.